Finally, we come to the tool that, according to my personal experience over the years, is next to discipline, the most important and most useful, indeed the panacea in the struggle against our animal nature. Look at the whole picture, not just at material reality. Imagine, make yourself constantly aware, never lose sight of the fact that your true spiritual father, your teacher, your disciples and your soulmates are constantly present in the subtle world around you. As so vividly portrayed in Sartre's play The Chips Are Down, they are very close to you and steadily watching you. When your consciousness has expanded, you perceive the whole, not only the physical, but also the subtle reality. You gain an insight of wonderful beauty that completely transfigures your normal, earthly, everyday life. Your soul really lives together with your true spiritual brothers and sisters. And that already now, during your incarnation on earth. If only, as we have discussed several times, you remain connected with the higher world and participate in life there. You realize your relatives in spirit watch everything you are doing. Then you will be ashamed to get weak. You feel how your teacher, your friends, and your spiritual children suffer if you disappoint them. And, of course, you punish yourself. With behavior that does not belong in heaven, you banish yourself to lower, coarser, uglier spheres and move away from your eternal family. I am under constant observation. That's a bit creepy, isn't it? Like Big Brother is watching you. No, you should not understand the observation as a threat. It is the natural consequence of your true existence in the midst of your soulmates. Living together with your soulmates should be more than just an idea. It is a spiritual exercise that needs to be persistently practiced. For so long, until your life in the circle of your true family becomes a spiritual reality that shapes also your material existence. Then you cannot help but adhere to the habits and rules of this supra-temporal community naturally and as a matter of course. As in the case when you are a guest of Helena Röhrig in the Kulu Valley, you will not even think of desecrating the solemn, sacred atmosphere of your eternal home by giving in to the primitive desires of the body. We shall deal more deeply with the practice of living together with your soulmates in the broadcastings, participating in the life of the higher world, and living in the ashram of the teacher. What we have discussed so far concerned the education of the four lower mortal vehicles as a whole. Now let us turn to the training specifically of the physical body. The body is only one, namely the visible half of our being. Spirit without matter is nothing. The soul can only appear and work on earth with the help of matter. Therefore, if you wish to realize the mantra, I reveal the divine only, you have to start with your body and make sure that the divine within you is expressed through your body. An Agni Yogi is not hostile to the body like the fanatics, but neither does he engage in body worshipping as the bodybuilders. He is only concerned with the preservation of the tool, without which the eternal individuality cannot do on the material plane. So spirit and matter meet and unite in man, both separate and distinct, yet one entity, thus giving the spirit the vehicle it requires for manifesting in matter and gaining all knowledge of its possibilities in form. The body is your brother donkey, as the monks affectionately call him, a good comrade and co-worker who is to be fed, exercised, strengthened, and kept healthy. The fitter your body is for activity in the world, the more effectively your soul can act through it. A weak, sick body hinders also the indwelling spirit. Spiritual exercises such as prayer and meditation only succeed if the body does not disturb. That means if it is healthy and disciplined. The preceptors will find harmony between the preeminence of the spirit and the health of the body. First of all, you must make a serious effort to thoroughly cleanse your vehicle. Austerely and pure in thought, commence my work. Each of us is a pharaoh, a house of God. Your body is the earthly dwelling, the temple of your soul. You must keep this sanctuary clean and remove everything from it that does not belong there. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you? If any man defile the temple of God, him shall God destroy. For the temple of God is holy, which temple ye are. Hygiene of the spirit presupposes hygiene of the body. To purify the body means in practice, put off evil habits and bad qualities. We had already spoken about this topic in the broadcasting Self-Perfection. Physical substance must be lifted into the light or substance of higher mentality, where renunciation of all attachment to the lower states of substance, the passions, will make possible the manifestation of the refined, the perfected spiritual forms of life. The brothers of darkness are very numerous, and no wonder, for their path is the path of gratification of the base passions. Why is it that you are speaking at such length about the education of the body? Do you not always teach that the education of the soul is much more important? For a very simple reason. Mastering your body is actually the first step on your path to becoming a great soul. When the soul becomes aware of itself and of its mission on earth, the first thing it discovers is, I have a body, I must take possession of it and make it serve my higher purposes. The brother donkey must first be broken in like a wild horse, before it can be of any real use to the soul. Amidst the daily routines of life, inner chaos can be overcome and the wild beast tamed. The soul employs the body and must not allow itself to be utilized by the latter. Entities who are still earthbound have not gained sufficient power over their lower principles to use them, instead of being used by them. It is a terrible degeneracy if the servant, the mount, bowls and imposes its will on the master. Under no circumstances must the brother donkey take the lead, unless you wish to make yourself a donkey. The body is a good servant, but a bad master. When even a mule can draw its cart, is it possible that the human spirit is unable to compel the body to rejoice in labor? The body is a semi-conscious living being of its own. It pursues its desire for food, pleasure, sloth, and security, and has its own whims, habits, and inclinations. You must bring this independent being, step by step, under the control of the eternal individuality. The body obeys the spirit as the slave obeys his master. A master is a master first and foremost because he masters himself. Such an alabaster body has certainly been formed by a healthy, strong spirit. Whereas in this misshapen body there surely dwells a weak spirit. The way to master the body is, you no longer identify with it. You transfer your consciousness into your real self. You face your transient personality from this higher standpoint. When your consciousness rests in the body, animal desires. When it is in the soul, spiritual ones arise. Your soul takes over command and rules the body, so that it only does what the soul wants. The eternal individuality alone decides how much and what kind of rest, food, clothing, pleasure, and distraction it allows the body. Anything too much is a violation of the primacy of the spirit, of the higher laws. Giving in to the lower self is from one standpoint like the inhaling of an anesthetic. For a brief moment you yield, then find relief, because the sensibilities are numbed and the hold is loosed from the higher inner self. The difference lies, however, in the fact that you must wake to responsibility and greater suffering than before, because you have allowed the negative pole to indulge itself in temporary release from its higher pole and guide, to ease or gratify your selfish, emotional nature and feeling. Thus, then, the Spirit provides for the senses with foresight, and these may attain the satisfaction of their desires only according to its judgment. Otherwise, you will not reach the mountain of the Lord, for you have received your soul, that is, your reason, in vain, if you follow only the senses like an animal, while your reason is idle and offers resistance nowhere.